Here's how you can create a professional high-converting landing page in under 60 minutes using AI, without waiting weeks for designers or developers. And it's not just some basic page. It's got well-designed, interactive elements, copy that speaks in the language of the user and is likely to convert, and a lead capture form that's fully functional that we can start capturing new customer information and getting this in front of customers much faster. This tutorial shows you how to build landing pages that convert using AI. We'll look at three key things. First, creating with AI. We'll use Genspark, which is a new Chinese agent platform, to make the first draft of the page. I'll show you why giving it good context really matters. Then we'll tweak the messaging. So we'll use Gemini and some solid frameworks to make the words better and more impactful. We'll use free tools like GitHub and Vercel to get the page online fast, including all of the things I needed to fix along the way as they broke. You'll see how I do it all and the thinking behind it too. By the end, you'll have a landing page and a process you can use again and again whenever you need to launch new products or test new landing pages with customers. If you're new here, I'm Mulholland. My focus for the last 2 years has been purely on how to get AI to fix the way companies do marketing and growth. Before learning AI, I was a product marketer at places like eBay, Ogilvy, and KFC, launching products that grew to over 700 million in revenue. I saw teams burning time on tasks that AI can handle now, which was holding them back from focusing on strategy and growth. Now I build AI systems for marketing teams in SaaS, MarTech, and e-commerce businesses, helping them do better work more often with less. On this channel, I'm documenting that journey. I share practical ways you can build your own AI workflows, agents, and assets. Now let's put Genspark to work. So I basically just gave it some simple directions to help me create a landing page for my AI automation agency, Intelligent Marketer, which builds automation for growth stage startup marketing teams. So basically what I've done is I've given it my newsletter, I've given it my LinkedIn profile so it can go and look and gather some of the messaging from that. And then I gave this YouTube video transcript, which basically talks about how a AI automation agency owner positions and sells his products, just to give it a bit more data to go off. So that's one of the key things that I always come back to is how do I give the agent or AI in general as much information to go off as possible and different threads that it can pull on. So then I also gave it a proposal that I recently sent to a client just to give an idea of exactly the kinds of services that we offer. So what it did, it went and looked at my LinkedIn, it scanned, got my photo, got different elements from that. It's got verbatim information off my LinkedIn. Then it went to all it could get from my newsletter was just my tagline. So next time I'll actually give it a link to my newsletter so that it goes through and does that. Then it went through a thought process where it basically pulled out all of the key information that it wants from the AI agency owner and also for the landing page of things that it's going to add there. And then it went straight ahead and built a landing page. So it did heaps of code and created a really good first try of a website. So you can see it's got buttons that animate, it's got sections which we can fill out, it's got like core metrics up the top, it's got pretty good copy to start off with, it's got iconography with some of the key benefits that I can offer. It's made up statistics because I didn't give it any of this information. And then it's also gone and pulled together some solutions, which I don't actually offer some of these yet. Like it's gone with SEO and it's just made some assumptions of the kind of products that I offer and then grabbed and created a pretty clear CTA, and the buttons even go down to the particular section they're supposed to be. So it's also added the how we work section and how you can work with, which is useful. It's gone and given key metrics for startups that we've worked with. Again, it's just made these up because I didn't give it this information. So it's good because all the buttons, even if we haven't got that to go anywhere yet, it defaults to just going to the contact form. So what we can do is set up tracking. So with this website, even if we haven't built up the particular sections, if we know that people are typically clicking on those different elements, then we can make sure that we add another page to give them more detail. But at least for now, it just goes to the contact form, which is what we actually want them to do. So then we've also got, again, it's just made up some testimonials so I can actually populate these with real testimonials from clients. It's added a link to my LinkedIn, which is great, and my newsletter, and it's given a bit of a bio there. And then looks like you can directly subscribe to my email here. Let's see what happens when we click this. It takes you straight to my newsletter site so you can subscribe there. That's so cool. It's thought of a lot of the things that I would have got to eventually, but it's nailed it pretty well. So now I have something really good to start with and edit. And I'll show you through that whole process as well. So it's given 2 packages of what we typically start with clients based on the proposal. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. And then, again, just goes straight to the contact form. Contact for custom pricing, that's great. Yeah, and then FAQ section, these are pretty great too. Yeah, it's just thought of everything basically. And then it's even given us, so you can skip through to different sections here. It's got a contact form. It's made up my email. That's not my actual email. Just made up a phone number. Did it find my Twitter? Okay, where did that go? Yeah, so it just went to twitter.com. So we'll need to update that. And yeah, it's even added a form with the different target audiences that I typically speak to. It's a pretty basic form, but again, great to start with. It's a pretty impressive site, and I've used bolt.new to try to do some of this stuff, and it has never given me this higher quality first result straight off the bat. So something to keep in mind here is obviously it will default to producing a website that is pretty similar for people. This is going to look like probably lots of other people who use Genspark. So we want to make some iterations on that. But I just gave it a prompt. I didn't give it screenshots or inspiration or anything to go off. So we can try to start iterating off different landing pages that we find effective to do that better. Right, so now we've got our first landing page structure, which we got from Genspark. Now we need to sharpen the messaging, make it much more punchy, more aligned with our goals, and more appealing to our target audience. The raw AI output you often get from tools is pretty generic or bland. The real value comes from editing that well. So for this, I'm going to use AI as well. So I'm going to use my Gemini Advanced subscription with Google. You can use Claude or ChatGPT too. You could use any free AI model here, but honestly, you might waste a lot of time dealing with very generic copy or bugs or errors. So I find using the best model available, like Gemini 2.5, often saves you time in the long run, even though it is paid. I actually get it free with my Google Cloud account, which I use for my domain and my company email anyway. So if you have a business, you could do the same. The main thing is picking an AI that actually gets the context and is intelligent enough to do something with it, and can easily apply the specific messaging ideas that you're planning to go with without getting too off track. For this, we want to improve our messaging using best practice frameworks. So we want the core message and brand voice to remain the same or align better with what we want for our business. So I'll show you exactly how to prompt it so that you get better results like that. So now the step that I'm at is, what I did was basically I copied the code on Genspark. You can go to what we've done. So then what I did was I copied the code, added that to Claude, and I basically just said, help me write out all the copy and label it under clear sections. So now I've got this as a base to go to, and I could have just done this in Gemini, but I used Claude because I'm just used to using it and it gives a high quality, but yeah, same thing within Gemini. So I've got Gemini Advanced. So I just always by default use 2.5, which is a reasoning model and the best model that's currently out there. It can really think through things. And Gemini also has this feature called Canvas, which just makes it super easy and precise to be able to edit things. So now I can go through and actually edit my website copy and see if this is something that I'm happy with. So I can iterate on different sections. So let's start out with the hero section, transform your marketing with AI automation. We help growth stage startups scale marketing operations with practical AI solutions that deliver measurable results. So it's pretty good. I definitely have created a couple of iterations of this before and tried different messaging, but at least to just get something out there, I'm happy with just to leave it like that. And I can take you through different workflows where we can actually improve that. Now I'm going to prompt this because we don't have these metrics to represent. So let's prompt this and see what Gemini recommends. So I haven't got these exact statistics. What is something else that we could add to, or what would be a good thing to add right up the front? I like the idea of adding core metrics as showing that it's really results driven. Could we talk about some of the kinds of things that we offer straight up the bat? Yeah, just help me figure out how I can do this. So I use Super Whisper to prompt. That was just a word vomit of just what I'm trying to solve. But that's the thing, is you can just lean on the AI to sometimes help you think if you don't have a really great answer for it. So then now that's transcribed, we can add it in there, and let's see what Gemini suggests. Great. So these are good. My current service offering is more around product marketing and growth. Let's give it some direction around that. So my current service offering is more directed towards automating product marketing processes and growth marketing processes. So things like gathering competitive intelligence to better inform messaging and positioning, creating workflows that improve and become a thought partner for positioning and messaging decisions, to gather market data, but then also to analyze customer interviews to better inform the messaging, positioning, and go-to-market strategy, helping planning out that go-to-market strategy and working cross-functionally with teams to gather that information. So a lot of the workflows that I do are centered around that. I'm definitely going to expand other offerings in the future, particularly around content creation, automating growth, creating custom landing pages. This should give you an idea of different elements that I should probably update within my landing page that talk about things that I don't actually do, but I definitely want to keep them in the back burner because these are obviously the things that most people care about because AI suggested them. But let's just first, before you edit anything, if you can just go through and just give me some suggestions of the kinds of edits I should make to this to better align with that. And then I can let you know if they're good, and then we can look at updating the actual website copy itself. So in an ideal world here, we're also adding in customer research. So different things that people have spoken about. It's going around the internet and grabbing guides of how to do product marketing, or adding more information about the product projects we've done in the past. But I want to see how close I can get just by voice prompting and describing. But in the meantime, we can look at adding different guides to it. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Yeah, so it's basically just said what I do. It's great. I really like this. Yeah, it's good enough. Great. I'd love you to make those edits for me. Go ahead. Cool. So now with the canvas, it'll just go. You want to make sure that it's not updating things that it probably shouldn't. Transform your marketing with AI. We help growth stage startups scale strategic marketing operations with practical AI, streamline competitive intelligence. So look, this is really good. It's highlighted everything that's changed. Cut through the AI hype. Our solutions help marketing teams, growth stage startups scale strategic operations, automate research and analysis, reduce manual work, and drive measurable ROI through better strategy. So this is all good, but the one thing that it's doing here is using a bit of jargon and language that I wouldn't use personally. So I'll show you in a sec how we can update that to be a bit more relatable and customer focused. And I'm choosing to do this within Gemini because I don't trust Genspark in terms of the data I feed into it, but also it's not necessarily going to do as good a job in updating the copy because it uses other models and I know which model this is using. So basically I'll iterate and create messaging that's a bit more aligned with how I want to speak to it. So now we're happy with the content of the copy. I want to try incorporating a bit of messaging best practice into this. Now that we have our messaging written up from our perspective, let's now go through a process of reviewing against the best practices from Emma Stratton's Make It Punchy book. I want you to review all of the copy that we have, first map out what some of the pain points and barbecue versions that people might say, and then give me suggestions without updating the canvas as to some better ways that we could phrase the messaging to align with Emma's best practice. So a quick call out on prompting here. Notice that I'm very specific about the framework that I want Gemini to use, Make It Punchy. You should basically start to create a bank of best practices, books, articles, YouTube transcripts that you can feed into the model to get it to behave the way that you need it to. You're basically just giving it expertise in a particular area so that it can do it well. This helps AI judge its own ideas as being good or bad, and it usually gets better if you're giving it more specific context. Cool. So this is the other great thing about Gemini is we can add in lots of context. Here is some more context around the benefits that we can offer and the things that we can do for team from a product marketing sense to help you better inform the messaging. Again, we want to keep it aligned with Make It Punchy, but just reading through Stop Guessing, Start Winning, AI-powered marketing strategy, I'm not sure if that's quite hitting. Nail your messaging and go-to-market strategy faster. I like that. Finally get your marketing strategy right with AI is also good. Can we just try some other versions given this extra context that you now have? This is good. Stop the go-to-market chaos. We use AI automation to help growth stage startups, align teams, build winning strategies, and launch products that resonate. Cool. It's looking good. Know your competitors instantly. It's good. Craft messaging that converts. That's good. Align teams and launch faster. Very good. Unlock what real customers really want. Ditch the endless competitor tracking and interview analysis. Free your team from repetitive research and data gathering to focus on strategic work and decision making. Go. Solution section. Instantly turn interview transcripts and survey data into value props and messaging angles. That's so good. Build go-to-market plans that stick, get buy-in and keep sales and product marketing in sync automatically. Hear the real voice of customer without spending weeks on analysis. Great. Now, can you help me make updates to the approach section to align more with everything that we've learned and make it punchy and processed and things like that? We want to keep it relatively the same, but we just want to make it more customer benefit focused where possible, where it makes sense. Try a couple of versions, iterate a little bit in your thought process. Don't necessarily update it in the canvas just yet. Just give me some options to go off because the version you gave below was pretty high level. It was good that you gave me some options, but can you suggest the best ones that I should use? Review them as my customer to work out which would be the best. Those were good, but I feel like we're adding unnecessary length. Could you try to craft them so we're still offering the same kind of benefits and same quality, but not necessarily as long as they are? The length before was pretty good, but yeah, you can go a little bit longer where it works, but yeah, try to make them more punchy. Good, but I feel like we're moving away from the style of language that Make It Punchy suggests. Like enhancing your team's capabilities and ensuring peak performance just seems a little bit overhyped and lame and a bit cringe. Let's review so that it's effective sales copy, but it's not over the top. Wins. We build practical solutions focused on your core pains first, delivering measurable value and easing workloads within weeks. It's good. Okay, so now we have our copy to a good place. We want to give this to Genspark to update. And now I'm going to grab a link of a website I like. So I'll just start to map this out in a prompt. Great, awesome job. I really liked the designs that you created. I've gone ahead and updated all of the messaging and copy throughout the landing page so that it is more aligned with my business and my preferences. I've labeled them under clear sections so you know exactly what copy to add where. Try a bit of a different style. I don't want you to completely reinvent the website, but here is a reference website of the colors and the fonts and the way the site functions. And I don't want to move too far away from what our original version was, but I want you to take inspiration of this to how you can build a more engaging and interactive site that looks a bit different from the original one that you made, ideally. I'll give you the link so that you can look at the website and grab different elements that you need off there, but I've also attached it as a PDF so that you can see everything if you need to design the website. I want you to keep going and iterating and researching and making sure that you make the best possible site for this task. Cool. So now I'll give this prompt to Genspark. Make sure we attach everything we're supposed to. So see how it goes with this. It's got everything it needs. So it's taking a screenshot of that landing page I liked. It's looking at the analysis. It's grabbing all the copy it needs. So now it's coding up my whole landing page. So let's see how it goes. Looks like it's a mobile ready site too. Cool. So it's done a pretty awesome job. Oh my God, this is so cool. It's done it. It's struggled with the logo. Wow. That's my landing page mostly done. Oh, this is so cool. It even added like specific logos. Wow, it's got dynamic updatable elements. We could add in different logos there as needed. Yeah, it's pretty ready to go. How good are the colors? I can't get over this. It's so well designed. Yeah, it could be better. I have a landing page. So then we'll copy the code. So here it is, full screen. Like we could add the link to our lead magnet or something like that, templates, podcasts. We can track if people click this, what they're curious to see. Newsletter works. We can update these links. Wow. Great. So our landing page design looks good and the messaging is sharp. So next step is to actually get it online so that people can see it and use it. This is often where marketers get stuck because they think they need to code or they need to work with a web developer or they need to use something like Squarespace or a website builder. But the thing is, I'm a marketer. I'm not a dev. I can edit HTML templates and I can update copy or image links, but mostly I just use AI to write and edit that code for me. The key is focusing on specific sections when you edit in the code instead of getting AI to redo the whole thing. So you'll see me do that. And you actually start learning a bit about the code as you do it this way. And using code directly instead of a website builder means you can change or add or edit anything you want. It's much more flexible, so I'll show you how you can put this page up using free tools like GitHub and Vercel. And the whole process that we've done today is basically free, aside from the Gemini Advanced subscription that I talked about. But these deployment tools make it surprisingly simple and scalable to add new things. You'll see me now do a few technical things like using Cursor, GitHub, and Vercel. I've left this all in here so you can just follow along. You'll see that I often run into issues throughout setting this up, so I've left those in so that you don't go through them as well. But you'll notice that the way that I solved them was through asking AI. So I'd speak to ChatGPT because it has access to the internet to look up the documentation to tell me how to do things, whether it's for Vercel, GitHub, or Squarespace domains. Basically, if you run into an issue, ask AI. So you'll see I run into a few issues like the image not loading or things like that. This is how I fix them. Let's get this online. Cool. So now what do? We'll copy this code. We'll go to, I have a Squarespace domain purchased, and now I have some code for a website, which I've attached, that I've created. Give me the easiest way that I can get this site up and running and that I can just add that code and get the site live. So we'll just ask ChatGPT how we do this. Do I have to use Squarespace? I don't currently pay for Squarespace. I just have a domain with them. But could I link that domain up to any site builder? I can use Squarespace, but I don't want to pay for Squarespace other than the domain. So what should I do? Try using Vercel. Search the web to show me exactly how I would do this through Vercel. Or do you think that GitHub pages would be a better option? So the instructions it gave me were to first create the landing page in GitHub. So I've created that. Then I cloned the repository into Cursor. And so now I updated the file name to index.html, and I am now ready to commit. So I'll add a comment saying update to index.html, and then we go commit and push. Commit and push. So it looks like it worked. Okay, so we've committed that. So let's look and see. Oh, it's in there. Code's in there. Okay, so now we can go to setting up with Vercel. Standard. Cool, that worked. Installed. Import the landing page. Cool, so we set up the configuration correctly on Squarespace. Now we had to wait a little bit for it to actually deploy. Now let's check out, see if it worked. It's live. Wow. So we've got all the dynamic elements. We've got it on my domain. We've got the placeholder companies here. So all the links are working correctly. All funnels down to the contact form. It's got links to everything that will start to pull together. And it's also optimized for, it's pretty incredible. Now my business has a site. So what are the main lessons we learned here about creating a landing page using AI super quick? First is that context really matters. Everything that I fed into the AI model, whether it was through my voice, through voice prompting, or through adding context like my LinkedIn, proposal, and newsletter examples, those made the outputs way better. It's the classic garbage in, garbage out. That still holds true here. Make sure that you're always editing and improving and not just taking that first draft and publishing it. People often do that with AI, and you can tell. To improve the results, make sure you're using specific frameworks that are to do with your domain expertise. So in this case, I used Make It Punchy by Emma Stratton and the frameworks and information from that book to help me turn my generic copy into words that actually resonate with my audience and come from their perspective. For deployment, you saw that I ran into a lot of issues. This is something that's new for me. Tools like GitHub, Vercel are really great and cheap, but I also needed to use Claude and talk to the models to guide me through that process to help me actually fix that issue. So whenever you run into bugs or issues, just ask AI and just give it all the context on everything you're working on and everything that you need to solve, and it'll help you do it. This was all about experimenting, and the aim was to increase the speed of doing things. This wasn't as quick as it could have been, so I thought I would publish this tutorial so that you could see all the mistakes I've made and just do it a lot quicker. I hope this step-by-step tutorial gave you a bunch of tools and ideas of how you can make your own landing pages faster. If you found it useful, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel and would allow us to reach more marketers and create more intelligent marketers. If you have any questions about what I did here, please pop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them there. I read and reply to every single one. This is the first video in my series of creating actionable tutorials for marketers to use AI. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next ones. Finally, if you're a marketing leader at a growing tech company looking to get some of this AI skills internally, there's a link in the description which takes you to my landing page. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.